Hello Identity 5 gamers, it is now time to do the group stage predictions for COA 9 today. I'm actually very excited to get into it because predictions are always very fun, but they're actually doing quite a few bonus rewards this year if you get a lot of your predictions right. And as somebody who's watched every single COA match this year, I don't know, I'm getting pretty excited to see if I'll be able to actually be on point with my predictions this year. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is found very easily. You just kind of go into your book right here and we should see the Grand Finals prediction event, which will take us to, none other than this guy, gosh darn Joseph, bro. So we can hop on into the tournament predictions in just a second. We look at the tournament progress here. We can actually take a look at all the teams and the leaderboards here. So for those that don't know, there are 20 teams that go to COA, and they're broken up into 4 groups of 5. And they kind of battle out against each other. As you can see here, you can see the 20 teams. They battle against each other, and the top 3 teams from each section will move on to like the true playoff finals, which is pretty cool. Of course, we have our groups already made because that happened a long time ago. And well, not exactly so long ago, but for now, what I need to do is I need to subscribe to all of these matches. I believe if you subscribe to a lot of these matches, or honestly just all of them, I highly recommend you do that because you should get quite a few apples for doing it. I imagine somewhere, I don't know where, but most of the time you usually get apples for this. And trust me, you're gonna be scrolling for a while because there are 40, I believe 40 of them, because there are 10 days of 4 matches, so there should be 40 times you gotta click this button. Oh my goodness, it is quite a long one. Okay, I subscribed to all of them. That took a gosh darn minute. Of course, we can see all of the teams here. I think I'll probably just slowly but surely introduce each team here. Not really gonna look into them too much, but, you know, just kind of make some notable players. I guess for RC, they have Aka and Alpha Hunters, which are absolutely crazy. They do have Unpi as well, who is just absolutely cracked at Harasser. Unfortunately, RC Rally will actually be sitting out this year due to health issues, which is a bit unfortunate. So I believe Fuku will play instead of Rowley, to my knowledge here. But of course we have WBG, a lot of people's favorite team from China, who has, Persica on it. Everybody absolutely loves watching Persica. She is insanely strong. I also love watching Guoker as well, because Guoker is just a really fun player to watch, truly. I'm not entirely sure why they have Photographer and Thief as their preferred character. How do you even have both? How's it even possible? What? You're either a hunter or a survivor. How the heck do you have both? Antiquary and Hellenberg? How the heck? Okay, I don't understand. I don't understand how they're allowed to do that, but whatever. We have DFM here, which is one of my favorite teams here from Japan. I'm pretty excited to watch them. Of course, Up High does play Meteorologist at times, which I'm very excited to hopefully see in the future. Takoyaki is a very talented forward player. Vani is a good harasser player. Yami, I absolutely love their Bonbon. Their Bonbon is quite talented. We have TE here. Of course, TE needs no introduction, especially Pepe as well. Very good at Naiad specifically. Their Naiad is one of the best Naiads in the world, if not the best. Then we have Team AR, which is one of the Southeast Asia teams that qualified here. Of course, you see each little team's stats, players, and all that stuff, but you also see like the little introductions as well with their little models, which is kind of cool. But I'm not super knowledgeable about this team too much outside of what I've seen, but I do know that Hessian is quite a strong hunter, I should say. I am well aware of Hessian from the SEA region. Then we have, of course, Group B, which is seen as the group of titans, bro. There are 4 really strong teams in this one. Of course, GR is absolutely cracked. So many of their players are so very strong, especially Red, who is a newcomer to the team of GR and is actually like a harasser player. Yet they play insanely well. And then, of course, you have Jin, who is one of, if not the best hunter in the world right now. They are just absolutely insanely talented. I'm very excited to see Jin this year. And then, of course, we have GG, a long time, standard. A long time people always want them to win COA. They actually won COA 7. Speaking of previous COA winners, GR actually won COAs 1, 2, 3, and I think they won one more. I forget. Maybe it was just 1, 2, and 3. I can't remember. But of course, I really like watching 18. 18 is probably my favorite player from GG. Of course, I believe they have a new member in Bai as well that plays, they play the harassers. And then Xiaoma, of course, is one of their hunters, and they are just very fun to watch, especially their wheel. I absolutely love watching their breaking wheel. Then, of course, we have Axis here. Plenty of fun members from Axis. I absolutely love watching Nyan's harassers. And I really like their hunters, Kakaka and Kakiri. Kakiri, in my opinion, is one of, if not the best goatman in the world. And then Kakaka has a really, really fun spider. In fact, both these players actually have a really cool spider. And I really, really like Axis. I like their little Wave-kun, what is it? Not motto. What the heck? Mascot. Very cute. And then Wolves is one of the teams that auto-qualified. I'm actually super excited to watch Wolves this year. So excited to watch Wolves, especially COA, because COA was so dominant last year. COA was like single-handedly up until the finals was basically undefeated. He was like practically 3-killing, 4-killing everybody. He had like the most insane stats I've ever seen. And then unfortunately, he just couldn't take it home. So I really do feel bad about COA, but I'm very excited to see what COA can cook up this year. I'm super excited for COA from Wolves. And then of course you have X Team, the non-professional team from China, who is actually quite strong. They actually, I'm not super familiar with their players at the moment, but they're actually not bad at all. They're actually quite a strong team. They're just up against some Titans, which I do feel bad about. And that's going to be a little bit rough. Then for Group C, this is probably going to be the weakest or second weakest group. Of course, we have PRR, the South Korea team. I'm not super knowledgeable about pretty much any of these players, I'm not going to lie. And then I think, Vuitton, Trap, and Granite. They have actually 3 hunters on this team, which I think is the most notable thing about the Korean team, is that they have 3 hunters and 4 survivors, which is very uncommon. Typically, since you're allowed 7 players on a team and 1 coach, it's usually 2 hunters, 5 survivors. That way you have 1 sub of each. But this team has 3 hunters, which is quite interesting. So that leaves them a lot of variety that they can use. Then, of course, we have Omni, which is, the very controversial team from NAEU. And we are... my personal opinion, I am not going to be rooting for Omni this year. But of course, they do have some historically strong players from the NAEU region. Then we have FL. Many people love FL from Japan, especially the hunters on this team. Pipicha and Hasha are very, very exciting to watch. Hasha is multi-talented with map pressure hunters, and then Pipicha has a really, really strong peddler as well, which is quite fun to watch. Then, of course, you got Cat with the harassers out here. As you can tell, I think you know what my favorite survivor archetype is to watch. It's the harassers, bro. Those are the most fun ones to watch. Then we have FPXCQ. This one, obviously, always needs no introduction. We have very, very strong players here. Of course, Sans is an extremely talented harasser on the survivor, and they are probably the best batter in the world. And then you have Dongxuan, also known as DX for short, who is, one of the most terrifying hunters in the world. Of course, it's kind of been up and down in terms of their performance, but single-handedly, I believe, won COA 6 pretty much all by himself. So if he's ever able to tap back into that, it's going to be absolutely terrifying. And of course, his Dream Witch is one of the scariest things in the entire world. People just ban his Dream Witch all the time because they're that scared of his witch. Then you have ACT, which I think is a very underrated team here. I mean, this team is just all around. They're just like so well-rounded, and I feel like their hunters are just very, very strong, especially ZZ9. I feel like ZZ9 is a very underrated hunter that people will probably be surprised by in this term. I think they're actually going to be placing first in their block. And then, oops, that's not... oh, no, yeah, that is, that's the end of Group C. But then, of course, we have Group D with none other than the team that I manage for. This is B4U. And, of course, they have their little introduction through time. We've stood before you. Very little, creative and kind of cheeky, little slogan there. I absolutely love it. You got, these are all my friends. Green, Lion, Leg, Roland, Schmitty, Anton, and Sprinter. And then, of course, you have Coach Aaron as well. And, I mean, these guys are so talented. They put in the work. I'm going to be rooting so hard for them this year. And I really do think they can at least get 3rd place, which means they will be able to go to the playoffs. As long as they're going to be able to beat the 2 other non-professional teams, one of which is going to be LX from the Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan region, which, unfortunately, one of their players was not able to come, I think. I think they had a backup hunter. I forget. Maybe. I think they did. Yeah, I think they did have a backup hunter, but they didn't actually show up. It looks like Kodai will be playing instead. Kodai is a very, very strong hunter. And then as for Alan, they were a very interesting player. I think they have very interesting strategies. So I'm actually quite curious to see what they're going to be able to cook up. Oops. Then, of course, you have MRC, one of the other auto-qualified teams that made it into this year. And, I mean, they have some very, very, very terrifying players. Of course, you have Bailu and XC. The hunters are very, very scary, especially Bailu. Bailu and Jin, I mean, they're probably the 2 strongest hunters from China right now. Absolutely terrifying. And then you just have, such a well-rounded team out of survivors here. Xiao D, Xiao X, and Nanako are 3 of my favorite ones to watch from this team. And then, I don't know why it's not letting me go over. Then you have probably one of the most beloved teams in the entire world, Team Zeta. I think this is undoubtedly the most popular team from Japan. And they also were the winners of last year's COA. I mean, they just have an absolute titan of a team of players. I mean, they have Peter and Miko Melody, who are just absolutely insane at Hunter. And then pretty much all the Zeta survivors are absolutely cracked. Just absolutely cracked. And then Kazuneko has that X factor in terms of survivors. He's just so goated. He's probably one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player to watch in this entire game. I am a huge Kazuneko fan. So I'm really excited for Zeta this year. I truly am. And then finally, we're going to round things out here with Team RT from SEA. And unfortunately, I think RT also is missing one of their hunters. I think Gila was actually a hunter, and they played like Opera and Ivy or something. And now they're on Survivor, which is quite interesting. They actually swapped and lost one of their survivors, so I guess Gila had to take the place of it. And then Yuzupan, who plays Hermit and Peddler, will decide to play the main hunter instead, which is quite interesting. But yeah, those are all the teams. And I'll kind of be rating them a little bit as we go on. But I think what's really interesting about Group D is it's a very interesting repeat of IVS. If you guys remember the IVS tournament, which is the summer tournament that happened in 2025, B4U were actually able to defeat both Zeta and MRC on the same day and eliminating both of them from the tournament, which was kind of insane. Literally nobody thought that would happen. And now basically B4U is like, yo, can we do it again though? Can we do it again though? It would be pretty interesting. Very interesting. All right. I think that's enough for our tournament things. Of course, we'll be updating and taking a look at this leaderboard as the days go on, because I'll be live streaming all of these. Of course, live stream isn't available yet, but it will be in 7 days from the current time of recording. Let's take a look at our predictions here now. Of course, here are the little rewards that you can see here. We get First Light of the Holy City if you get a few predictions right. You get Song of Triumph if you get a lot of predictions right. And if you get a ton of predictions right, then you get Supreme Oracle. And I really hope that I get this Supreme Oracle label. I think that'd be really cool to have. But I think the chances of me getting this one are pretty high. This one's going to be tough. This one's definitely going to be tough. But of course, there are 2 different sets of predictions. Here we have the results from the tournament predictions, which are based off of this data. And then you have the group stage prediction, which is where you think the teams will place in each group here. Which is pretty interesting. You also have prediction helpers that you can look at from the commentators here. I'm not really going to be looking at these. I'm going to be doing it on my own. And then, of course, you have the tourney shop here as well. Oh, my goodness. I didn't realize they had all the new stickers in here. Ah, that's nice. They have a lot of COA 4 ones out here as well. That's nice to see. Oh, I got to pick up the B4U one from COA 4. I don't have this one. There we go, dude. I gotta rep that one. That's for sure. And then I know I have so many golden apples, but for me, what I like to do every single year is I like to buy out all of these, dude. I like to support every single team that makes it into COA this year. So I'm gonna be buying out every single one of these, as I always do. I don't know. I just think it's like really nice and fitting. Of course, it gives it so that I have like 20 gosh darn graffitis. I don't really want omnis, but whatever. It's too late. Whatever. Is what it is, bro. Is what it is. But yeah, after I pick up all these, we'll get right into the predictions here. Of course, you don't have to copy me, and I highly suggest that you do not, because I'll be differing from some of the norm opinions. Let's get our good old B4U team right here. You'll love to see it. Immortalized here in the game is lovely to see. So now we picked up all of these. I'll probably maybe pick up a few other COA 4 ones some other time. But for now, we'll just kind of... Oh, wait, they have COA 3 here, too? But NAEU wasn't in COA 3. Yeah, they weren't invited. Yeah, they weren't invited to COA 3. Oh, well. Okay, I got to hold on to the rest of my golden apples because it's for the journalist accessory that should come in here soon. Okay, so here is Group A. Predict the rankings of following teams. Each correct prediction will earn you 600 apples, and then hopefully one little correct thingy in the little tag thing. So, Group A, you have Team AR, DFM, RC, TE, and WBG. If you ask me, undoubtedly, RC will place first. I generally think RC it's tough because Rowley is gone now. I won't lie. It is definitely tough because Rowley will not be playing. But I think if Rowley was playing this year, I think RC would have an extremely high chance of actually winning the entire tournament, like all the way to the very end. I still think that is very, very likely. But it's going to be a little hard without Rowley, that's for sure. Rowley's absence is definitely going to be felt. That is for sure, without a doubt. I think I will just be putting Team AR here at the very bottom because they are the non-professional team. And I do believe that it is going to be pretty difficult for them to handle the rest of these teams here. Next, I think I will do Team TE. TE is quite strong, and I think they will be able to actually beat up pretty much everybody here except for RC. I think I will put WBG here in third, and then I will be leaving DFM here at fourth. DFM, I absolutely love them, but this is the first time they've qualified for COA, I believe, ever. So they usually don't qualify. And as much as I love DFM, I don't think they're going to be able to qualify and beat out these top three teams here. I do think you could interchange TE and WBG, but I think otherwise this list will probably be what the results are, if you ask me. Moving on to Group B, this one's going to be extremely, extremely difficult because it is an absolute just team of titans, bro. It is an absolute terrifying team of titans. If I had to say, I think this is what it will go down. Right now, GR has Jin, and I think Jin is absolutely insanely cracked and talented, and like GR just seems insanely strong. I think I have to put them at the top. And then similarly, Wolves, I think, is going to be a very, very strong team. Of course, they did lose one of their star players for controversial reasons that I won't really get into right now. We can probably talk about those during live streams and whatnot for all that. But I will probably put Wolves second here instead because I do still think they are very, very strong and have a good chance of making it into it. And then as for who will make it into the playoffs, this is going to be very, very tough because it's going to be between Team Axis and Team GG. This is very, very challenging because GG, I swear, they always find a way to make it in. But honestly, I think this year it's going to be so tough because they are, just look at what they're up against, bro. Look at what they're up against. Like, they're up against Titans, dude. They're absolutely up against Titans. Like, I can confidently put X Team here at the very bottom. But for GG versus Axis, that's tough. I just don't know. I truly, truly don't know. I think, as much as I want to put Axis above, I think I'm actually going to put Axis here. I really don't want to. But GG just always finds a way. I don't know why. They always find a way. That's why. I think I had to put GG above. Even though I think Axis should, on paper, beat GG, GG always finds a way. That's why I'm putting GG here, just because they always find a way. That is quite literally the only reason I can put them here. They always find a way. That's why I have to put them here. As for Group C, ACT, in my opinion, easily is first place. I don't think that's even arguable. I think they're easily first place. As for FL versus FPXCQ, this one's actually very difficult. I don't know. I honestly do not know. Because, yeah, I just don't know. I think I'm going to have to put ZQ in front and then FL, just in terms because of their consistency. Like, both these teams have very, very strong players, but do tend to stumble in terms of consistency a little bit. But I think ZQ is just a little bit more consistent than FL. That's why I'm going to put them here. Again, both of these teams could be interchanged. I do think ACT will come out on top here, but I would put them like this. And then as for Omni and PRR, I think they're about the same power level, I'm not going to lie. But high key, I'm just going to put PRR above Omni because I want them to see them above Omni. And then finally for Group D, this one's going to be really, really interesting. Very, very interesting and a bit challenging, actually. This one could honestly go truly any way because B4U actually has the potential to literally be here, which is crazy to think about. And honestly, I would absolutely love to put them there. But they were able to beat MRC and Zeta once. One single time. Whereas Zeta and MRC in turn have like beaten odds so many times. Zeta won COA last year. I'm sorry. It's more realistic to put Zeta first, MRC second, and then B4U third. I do really want to see B4U go as far as possible. And I do think they will get third here. I truly, truly do think they will get third because there are 3 non-professional teams in this group. So I think B4U will come out on top here. And then I do believe RT is a bit stronger than LX. I have seen all the matches. I do believe this is a little bit stronger. So this is going to be my full predictions here. We have RC, TE, WG, DFM, AR for Group A. For Group B, we have GR, Wolves, GG, Axis, X Team for Group B. For Group C, I have ACT, FPXQ, FL, PRR, Omni, and then for Group D, it's Zeta, MRCB for you, RT, LX. I'm actually a little curious. I kind of want to compare to the official commentators. Let's see. Okay, so they have RC at the top, Wolves at the top, ACT at the top, MRC at the top. Okay, interesting. Of course, there will be like a slight bias for the China commentators versus the Japan ones. That's for sure. I mean, potentially. You never really know. Let's see. As for the bottom, AR, X Team, Omni, RT. Okay. Oh, they have RT at the bottom. Interesting. Okay, looks like they have MRC above Zeta here again. ZQ at the top above ACT. Interesting. They have GG at the top of this one as well. Wolves GR. They have Axis at the very bottom? Wow, that's crazy. That is kind of crazy of Group B. They have all the way to the bottom. They have TE at the top of Group A. Interesting. They have RC at third? That's ridiculous. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Okay, what about here? Okay, we have RC at the top again. TE second, WG. Okay, yeah, looks like Group A the same. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I almost have the exact same list as this person, except I have Omni and PRR switch, and then Zeta and MRC switch. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I almost have the exact same list as this person. Sheesh. That's kind of crazy. A lot of people are thinking MRC will beat Zeta, though. Look at that. Everybody thinks MRC will beat Zeta. That's crazy. But not the JP commentators, though. Nope, not the JP commentators, that's for sure. Oh, that is funny, dude. Okay, that is funny. Oh, it looks like this guy thinks GG will actually lose to Axis. But again, you know, maybe there's a little bit of JP bias there, that's for sure. You know, I gotta have some faith for the teams that you rep, you know, that there's always that. But having RC below TE, interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. Wow, lots of people think MRC... Dang, only 2 people think Zeta will beat MRC. I don't know, dude. I think Zeta will win. Sheesh. Okay, well, my list isn't exactly the same, but I do think, like, I'm looking at a lot of these lists. Oh, yeah, look at that. A lot of these lists are quite similar. That's kind of interesting. Wow. All right, let's get into the second part of the predictions here now, which is the prediction period. This is going to be interesting. What is the most popular survivor that will be played in Call of the Abyss? Last year, it was Aeroplanist. I think there are, like, 5 choices here. The first one, the thing is, think about how often characters are banned, right? That's one of the things you got to keep in mind. But what's a character that you'd want for every round? A Rescuer. Rescuers are almost always one of the most played. Aeroplanist was the most played last year, and I think that Aeroplanist is a decent option, but I think he's honestly banned quite a bit. I think it's going to come down to either Gravekeeper or Puppeteer. I think that I'm dead 50-50 on those two, honestly. Where is Grave? I'm gonna personally choose Gravekeeper because I just think he's the most consistent survivor. I will personally be choosing Grave. Again, it could be Grave, it could be Puppet, could be Aeroplanist again. Maybe I don't think it would be First Officer, honestly. I don't think it'll be Officer. I think he's up there, but I think Grave, in my personal opinion, will be there. It's either Grave or Puppet. If you ask me, it's either Grave or Puppet. And then we're gonna be looking at most popular Hunter. Now, this is interesting. There are so many strong hunters here. I mean, you have Sangria, Ivy, Goatman, Hullabaloo, Peddler, QS that are like some of the most played. And then you have your more niche picks like Wax, Nightmare, Naiad, Breaking Wheel, and BQ, Lizard, Wuchong, Dream Witch, Clown, Gamekeeper, stuff like that. It's even Soul Weaver too, right? If you were to ask me, though, despite Goatman and Sangria being the 2 priorities, they're also heavily banned. QS is also banned quite a lot, too, same with Ivy. Hullabaloo's not that banned that much. And guess who's spammed all the time? Oh, wait, this is BO1. Oh, wait, this is best of 1? Oh, wait, never mind. I take that back. Oh, wait, this is different now. I thought it was most played hunter of all time. Wait a minute, what about the Survivor, though? Oh, it's also BO1. Okay, I almost didn't read that. Okay. Okay. I still think Gravekeeper here. Yeah, I still think Gravekeeper. I would not go a single Harasser because the thing is the Harassers are interchangeable. I still think Gravekeeper will be most. Definitely. Grave definitely most. It's like Grave Officer, but I think Grave is more consistent. That's tough, actually. It might actually be Puppet. If it's BO1, it's 50-50 between Officer and... I think it's actually... No, I'm going to go Puppet, actually. If it's BO1, I take that back. I thought it was just in general. Now I know it's BO1 only. Okay, interesting. That changes things. I was personally going to say Peddler, because Peddler will without a doubt be the most played hunter. I think that's without a doubt. But if it's BO1, that's tough. Ooh, BO1 is tough. BO1 guessing is tough, dude, because there's no most dominant hunter right now. There really isn't. Goatman might just be the safest pick here, honestly. But the thing is, like, no one's going Goatman in round 1 anymore. Like, they're just not going Goatman anymore. And they're not really going Sangria. Like, they're going, like, Peddler and Qist. Do I just go Peddler? Do I say Qist instead? I don't know. This is tough, actually. This makes this really, really tough. I'll come back to this one, actually. That one's really hard. Survivor with the highest average deduction points. Okay, this one's always really hard because this is just like, this could be inflated so high just because of like some random gimmick. So these ones are, especially for survivors, these are really, really hard to guess. For me personally, I usually like it when they allow like 5 guesses for this because it gives more accuracy potential. I think for me, I don't really know. I think I might just go with like the GOAT Kazuneko. I think I'll just say Kazuneko. I really don't know. There's not really a good option here. As for Hunter with the highest average deduction points in COA, I think it's either Jin or Bailu. I think 100% Jin or Bailu. And for me, I think I'm going to go Jin. I think I'll say GR Jin. I think that's a very, very safe guess, honestly. Very, very safe guess. Let's look at teams here. Team with the most dungeon escapes through COA. I think I'll say Zeta. Zeta's really, really good at their dungeon escapes. They love absolutely love. Like Zeta, I think it's Zeta or Wolves. Zeta, Wolves, probably those are like the two. I think Zeta or Wolves is fine there. Team with most chest openings, that's GG. GG is like, is notorious for their chest opening plays. That's 100% gonna be GG, I think, without a doubt. And then as for the map, oh, most used map, let's see. No one goes Chinatown. Is this most used map in general? Okay, this is most used map. This isn't even BO1. This is most used map in general. Okay. Definitely not Hospital, without a doubt. Not Arms Factory. Church is used a lot. Eversleeping is used a lot. Darkwoods is also used a lot, but not all the time. Honestly, for me, I think it's between Church and Eversleeping. I think I'm gonna say Eversleeping just because Hunter. It's better for Hunters. Whereas Church is more balanced. I think people like want to give their Hunters the best chance more often than not. So I think I'll say Eversleeping Town. I think that's what it was last year too. Eversleeping is just so like well-rounded and balanced. Yeah. Dang, Ash with the most popular Hunter. That's tough, dude. That is so tough. That truly is so tough. I don't know, dude. I really don't know. The thing is, if you're gonna see a puppet and a grave officer, like you're not gonna play Goatman, and you're probably not gonna play Sangria either. You're gonna play Peddler or Qist. High key, it might actually be like, I think it's one of these two, honestly. I don't know. I'm actually gonna look at the assist for this one because this one's tough. Let's see here. So they have Gravekeeper. Okay, that's fair. Most popular hunter Qist. Okay, that checks out. Puppet Qist. Puppet Qist. Officer Goat. I don't think it's gonna be Officer. No. Officer Goatman. Officer Goatman. Puppet Goatman. Puppet Opera. Okay, dang. So people are like dead 50-50 between Goatman and Qist, huh? I don't think it's gonna be Goatman. I really don't. I really don't know. I think the BO1 is like really throwing me off because BO1 is so weird, dude. It is just so weird. I just don't know, dude. It's offline. No, there's too many gimmicky. There's too many gimmick players, bro. I think it's gonna be Qist. I'm gonna go Qist actually. The thing is, like, Qist is just like safe tie, and like he can burn out all those annoying characters first. It could be Peddler too. I don't know. This is hard. Saying BO1 is hard. If it was not BO, if it was just in general, I'd go Peddler, easy. The fact is, predicting BO1 is so hard this year because people are just going weird. They're just going counterpick. Like, that's all it is. They just go counterpick in round 1. That's like the two strategies are. It's just counterpick or play meta. And I think before the finals, I think if this was finals playoffs only, I would actually say there's a better chance of Goatman. But I think because I have to factor in all the non-professional teams, Qist is way easier to play. Way easier to play for a lot of teams than like Goatman and whatnot. So I think I'm just gonna say Qist. Yeah. Okay. So Puppet Qist for me. I'll go Jin and Kazuneko, GG for the chess, and then Zeta for the dungeon, and then Eversleeping for the map. Okay, let's see. What are other people saying? Okay, they have Xiao X and Bailu. Dungeon Escape, Zeta, GG. Okay, yeah, that checks out. And yeah, most used map ever sleeping, that checks out. Oh, DX is the highest. Interesting, huh? Very interesting. Okay, Wolves. Yeah, Wolves also is really good at Dungeon Escapes. I think Wolves is. I think it's 50-50 Zeta Wolves. Most used map Darkwoods. That's kind of crazy. I don't know about Darkwoods. Darkwoods is like common, but I don't know if it's that common. Moon River Park. I think that's fair as well. That's a fair one. Aka, highest deduction points. XMX is for Wolves. Okay. Dungeon Escapes, MRC, Team. Yeah, everybody's saying GG for the chest. That's interesting. Jin. Okay, we got another Jin believer out here. Lots of people saying XMX from Wolves. Interesting. Lots and lots of people. Okay, MRC, GG. Yeah, people are still believing in GG for the chest. Yeah. Oh, never mind. We got some Zeta. Zeta Shinami, Zeta Peter, Zeta Dungeon, chest opening MRC, Ever Sleeping Town. GR Jin, another Jin believer. GG in Zeta. Yep. Okay. Wow. Dang. We have I have pretty similar beliefs, huh? We have pretty similar beliefs to these guys. Chest openings RC. I don't know if RC goes for that many of those. I don't really know. I don't really think so. Okay, quite a few Jin believers though. Look at that. What is that? 3 Jin believers? Yeah, I mean, I think like Peter, Jin. I think the only one that I would not agree with is DX. I'm sorry. Like DX is too inconsistent. Like I love DX, but like he's just a little bit too inconsistent. It's interesting. What about the other popular hunters? Sangria, Goatman. It was Sangria, Goatman, Qist. Okay, so they're pretty much like 50-50 split between Goatman and Qist, and then one Sangria. I don't think it'll be Sangria or Goatman. I really don't. Not until the late stages. I just don't know. It's hard to predict. Anyways, I kind of rambled a lot, but those are going to be my predictions. Those will be my predictions. Of course, I do not suggest that you copy mine. If you want a professional person that's like way better than me, I highly suggest that if you want something to copy, just copy the commentators. Just find like a commentator that you think looks the best. And if you like, okay, you like are vaguely aware of it, I would copy theirs. Do not copy mine. Mine are simply... I've never been like Supreme Oracle, basically. That's all I can say. I've never really been Supreme Oracle. Who knows? Maybe this year it'll be different, but I usually never get things fully right. That's why I think I'll get this one, but probably not Supreme Oracle. Anyways, I think that's going to be all for today. So let me know your opinions on what people you think will make it through. I'm kind of curious to see what your predictions will be as well. But yeah, I think that's going to be all from me. So I will see you all later, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.